everyone, it's Zoe, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone has had a great week so far and a good end to the month of March. I do apologize for the mess behind me. I just had a little bit of a shopping time, so I'm just going to leave that there and deal with that later. So for today's video, I will be focusing on contour. Now, contour is something that people with glasses find easy because you can actually keep your glasses on. Yay! One thing that's actually easy. There is one step where you do have to take your glasses off just because you go in here, but it's super easy. Use your hands, feel around. It is really easy and you don't require any sight. So today I'll just be kind of teaching you how to contour your face, different things to do for different face types and different face shapes because not everyone's face is the same, different products I use, and kind of just how to blend it all together to make your face look as chiseled as possible. Now, contouring can get very confusing because there's a lot of different products that you actually use to chisel your face. Contour is more of the actual part on the cheek, and it's just a product you kind of use to kind of chisel at your face. I don't know, it can be described as the actual motion, it can be described as a product. So the word itself is kind of vague. It doesn't really mean exactly one thing. It could be a product or the actual work itself. Now, also, a lot of people sometimes think bronzers work. I do use actually a matte bronzer when I contour. If you are using bronzer though for contouring, you have to make sure it's matte and not shimmer because you don't want your face to look all sparkly, even though that is fun, and that's what highlight's for, but you don't want your entire face to be covered in sparkles. Also, concealer is very important when it comes to contouring because you do have to make sure that certain points on your face are brighter than others. And I'm going to show you guys which points on your face that is and kind of how to put it all together to have the final look. Alright, so you contour your face right after you do foundation. So it goes primer, foundation, then concealer / contour. I'm just going to show you guys the products I'll be using today. So for concealer, I'll be doing a little bit of a mix. I'll be using the NARS soft matte concealer, and this is in light 2, which is vanilla, and I'll also be using a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is shade 20. So as I said before, you want to make sure that the concealer is lighter than your foundation or skin tone. So if you're going in with kind of a light foundation, a lot of your skin will still be there, so you want to make sure it's lighter than your skin tone. But if you're using a really full coverage foundation that's maybe a little darker than your normal skin tone or even a little lighter, you just want to make sure your foundation, your concealer, is always lighter than the base underneath. So for contour today, I'll be using the Palladio Matte Bronzer in shade Nude Beach. This is available at Sally Beauty Supply. You can get contour palettes that have a bunch of different shades. However, I just really like using matte bronze just because I find the tones of brown just work really well for my skin tone. Now, for some people that might not be the case. You know, if you have darker skin, bronzer might not be the best choice. So it all depends on your skin tone and also like kind of just your personal preference. And yeah, so let's get started. So first I'm going to let you guys know where I'll be actually applying the matte bronzer. So the first place you're going to apply is right under your cheekbones. Now you apply it there just to make your face look a little more slanted downwards and not so wide at the cheeks. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. I can keep my glasses on for this. So to apply it, I'm going to be using this kind of flat contour brush as you can see here. This is from the brand Hannah K. And yeah, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this. Now this bronzer is very pigmented, so it's important to test out the bronzer or whatever contour product before you put it on your face, just so you know how much of the product you'll actually have to use. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of it off, and I'm just going to apply it right onto my cheekbone. Now the best face to do this, makeup face, is to go like this, so you can actually see where your cheekbone is. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now on the side. I'm just going to do a little bit more. I personally like to start at the front and then work my way back. I don't know, I've just kind of always done it that way, just because then I know how to make it even on the other side. You don't want to bring your contour all the way down to your mouth because then that'll look kind of a little bit like a puppet. So you just kind of want to make sure it's not all the way down. Now I'm just doing the same thing on the other side before I blend it out. I'm going to take this, top it off a bit, and just do it over here. Alright, so I applied the bronzer to this side and this side. Now I'm just going to go ahead and take the Morphe M437 brush. I really like this brush to blend out contour. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do some circular motions just to blend it out a bit, just so it doesn't look as harsh on the cheeks. So do the other side. Alright, so we have now contoured our cheeks. There are a few other places we're going to contour our face, so let's continue on. So the next place you want to contour your face is just underneath the jawline. Another way you can also kind of contour your face is if you think of it as doing a giant 3. So you want to do your forehead, then down to your cheekbone, then under your jaw. You could even take the product and just draw a 3 to make it look even. I don't like doing that, I don't know, I just kind of like doing it step by step, but that is a way you can do it if you're just starting. Just remember to draw a 3. So under the jaw, I'm actually not going to apply it with this brush because the one under like your jawline here, I don't like it to be that harsh. I kind of just want it to be a little subtle, so I'm just going to take some on the blender there and just kind of take a little bit, tap it off. I'm just going to go right under here and just kind of brush a little bit along. This isn't totally noticeable, so you don't really have to do it. I'm just kind of doing it to show you guys if you personally like doing this. But yeah, if I ever do contour my makeup routine, I don't really go under here. Just kind of blend it around. Alright, that's all under the jawline. Now we're going to move on to the nose and then the upper part of our face. Alright, so when you do contour your nose, you do have to take your glasses off for it because then you can't access all of your nose. So I'm just going to go in with this angled brush here. And I'm just going to take the smallest bit of product and kind of just go along the nose. Now, a hint if you want to blend it out even more is, I'll show you guys in a sec, but you actually kind of want to bring it up a little bit into your eye area. I'm just going to go along here and just bringing it down. I'm just going to bring it up into your eye area so it's not as harsh along the nose. So that's one side done. Now I'm just gonna go in and do the other side, and then I don't know right now if I've blended enough because I don't have my glasses on, but afterwards you can just go back in and check just to make sure it's all blended out. So I'm just gonna go and draw a straight line. Now if you want your nose to be even more snatched and pointed, you instead of drawing it along the side, you can actually draw on the top. I don't know, whenever I do it, it just looks way too small and just doesn't suit my face, so I just kind of do it ever so slightly and just kind of blend it out using this angled brush. I'm gonna keep doing that. Now that that's all done, I'm just gonna take a little bit and kind of just do it a little on the dot there, tiniest bit of product. Then I'm gonna wipe the brush off and kind of just blend that out along. I don't know, it really doesn't do anything, but it kind of just ties it a little bit together. Alright, I'm just gonna put my glasses back on now and just make sure it's all blended. And it is, so now we get to move on to the next step. So before we move up here, now it's time to work with the concealer. So I'm going to take my glasses off for this, and I just want to make sure that all the points on my face are covered. You can actually do this before contour. I mix it up a bit. So the NARS Vanilla Concealer, I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of this on a dry sponge, actually, and just kind of plop this right in the middle, just to make my face look a lot brighter up there. And do a little dot on my nose and kind of blend that out around. Now the next place you want to apply it is under your eyes. So as I said again, you want to put it on the highest points of your face. So being the middle of your forehead, your nose, and just under your eyes. So when it hits the light, it'll look a lot lighter. Alright. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my chin. Alright, so that's all the concealer I'll be using. I didn't use the Maybelline one. Yeah, I didn't, because that one's a lot darker, and I think my foundation today is actually a little lighter, so I don't want to use that because it'll be actually darker than the actual foundation. So again, it all depends, and you definitely want to make sure your concealer is lighter. So now we're going to go in with the next contour area, which is our forehead. So I'm just going to go ahead with the Hannah K brush again, and I'm just going to go and do it all along the sides. So I'm just going to take the product on the brush, tap it off a little bit, and just apply it all in here. Now my hair normally does cover this area, so it's not as, like, it won't be seen as much, but it's still important to do as it goes up into the forehead area. And you want to make sure that it connects to your cheek contour. Alright, so there's that, and I'm just going to bring it all the way up to the hairline, to the middle, and yet again I'm using my magnifying mirror as I can't see. Alright, so now that that's there, I'm just going to take the Morphe brush again and just kind of blend it all out. Alright, now I'm going to go do the other side off camera and then we'll be back for the final step. Okay, so now the contour's all done. We've done the cheeks, our forehead, the nose, and underneath. Now it's time for the last step here, and you actually want to go in with some translucent powder, or sometimes in contour palettes they have a powder that's really light, and that's just to make sure everything's kind of set in place. Now if you want your contour to pop a lot, you can do something which is called baking. I have done that in previous videos, where you kind of just take a angled blender, sorry, and if you saw where I reviewed different makeup sponges that show how you bake your face, and you kind of just put the powder along the contour and on your chin, under your eyes and forehead, and let it set for about 10 minutes, then you can take it off, and that will really make your contour pop. But I'm just going to set this in place, so I'm just going to kind of take this angled fluffy brush here, and I'm just going to dip into the little bit of the IT Cosmetics translucent setting powder and just set the different areas on my face. The first area I'm going to do is my chin. I'm just going to kind of brush it along there. Then I'm just going to do a little bit under here. And this is kind of if you don't have time to bake. This is baking really fast. I'm just going to do a little bit under here. A little bit in the middle of my forehead. Under my eyes. And that's it. And that is our final contour look. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any video ideas or any other tricks and tips you want to let me know about when it comes to doing makeup. Be sure to check out my Instagram at beautythroughtheeyesofzoe. I do post all video updates on there, so make sure you give that a follow. Also, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bells for any notifications when I post. I do post every Saturday at 2 Eastern Standard Time. I will see you guys next week. Bye!